What is going on, guys? It's Joe and welcome to a bonus video. This is a little bit of a different video. This video is not going to be a part of my prep series that I am doing. This is an extra, a bonus. So now currently we are uploading 3 times a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. This video will go up on Wednesday, and I'm going to call this video Breakfast with Joe. A little bit of a Q&A type of style of video, sit down and talk video. Literally eating French toast here, drinking my cup of coffee in the morning, having breakfast with me, and answering some of the questions that have been left in the comments of some of my videos that are a little bit more in-depth questions that I don't want to just throw into a vlog. I actually want to take some time and answer them and give them a little bit more attention. And I feel like if I threw them in a vlog, they get a little bit lost. It's a good way to just sit down and have a conversation. So breakfast with Joe, eating some French toast, drinking some coffee, and answering questions. There are 2 questions I wanted to specifically answer in this video that I thought were great questions, and I wanted to actually take some time, make a whole separate video on just these questions by themselves. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and give this morning breakfast toast a little bit of a taste test. We have some blueberries, some strawberries, 5 slices of French toast. So this first question is by Mario Salinas. He says, only thing I wrap up are my anabolic wraps. Only thing we wrap up around here, anabolic wraps. You don't wrap anything else up. I'm curious as how to make healthy coffee or make black coffee taste good. Great question. That's actually a really good question because I think that coffee in itself, not everybody enjoys drinking black coffee. Personally, I can drink coffee straight up black. I don't mind it. I know not everybody really likes coffee like that, and at the end of the day, you should drink what you enjoy. So there are ways to actually make the coffee taste a little bit better. Coffee is a little bit of a sensitive topic just because so many people out there think that they're drinking coffee, but really they're just drinking a shit ton of sugar and fat in their coffee. And I sometimes go with people that get coffee, like, let's go get coffee run. And then we go and get coffee and I see their order. I'm like, damn, do you want some coffee with your calories? Like, shit. So there are ways to actually make the coffee taste a little bit better, and these are some of the things that I use personally in my morning cup of Joe to actually make it taste better that is extremely low calorie. So number 1 thing that I'll use is going to be coffee creamer. Obviously, we love our creamers. Now, creamers can get up there as far as your overall caloric intake. Walden Farms makes a pretty decent creamer. This right here is calorie free. For 1 tablespoon, 15 mLs, it says 0 calories. In fact, it is so low they actually round down to 0. So I usually will add 1 to 2 tablespoons of this into my morning cup of Joe to make it taste a little bit better. This is the mocha coffee creamer. It comes in many different flavors. I usually just go and order the variety pack so I can taste all the different flavors of Walden Farms and put that in my coffee. So another thing I actually add to my coffee is going to be the milk portion, right? For me, I use the vanilla unsweetened almond milk. This bad boy right here is for 240 mLs, only 30 calories, and I use a lot less than 240 milliliters. It's so low in calories for 240 mLs that even on prep, I just add a little bit to it. I mean, it's 30 calories. I'm not even using anywhere close to 240 milliliters. That's the second thing I add to the coffee as well to make it just taste a little bit better. Another thing I make sure to add to my coffee to make it taste sweet is sweetener, which, son of a, I gotta go downstairs and get it. Hang on, give me 1 second.
5 minutes later.
The sweetener I use right here is this guy. It's a Splenda packet, 0 calorie sweetener or just artificial sweetener in general. Makes the coffee taste a lot better, tastes exactly like sugar. Add it into it. Rather than adding regular sugar, you have that instead, reduce the calories significantly. Another thing I like to add to it to make it taste even sweeter and more chocolatey and all that good stuff, actually Hershey's 0 sugar syrup. This guy is 5 calories per tablespoon, and I add, when I do make coffee with it, 1 tablespoon. So I'm adding 5 calories to the overall cup of coffee. It has a little chocolatey goodness to it. For 5 calories, I'm all about it. This is actual coffee that I use as well. This is an espresso. This is a chocolate fudge cup of coffee. So for this morning's breakfast, I had 1 pot of this with 1 serving of the 0 sugar Hershey syrup with around 100 grams of almond milk in the actual cup of coffee itself, some mocha creamer, and then some Splenda. That is like usually the base. Then I'll add the coffee in there. It makes it nice and sweet and pretty darn good. And so for the 100 grams of almond milk and 1 serving of the actual Hershey 0 syrup, I'm only adding 17 calories to my overall coffee. A lot lower in calorie than most people get in their regular cup of coffees. Mario, hopefully that answers your question as far as what you can add to your coffee to make it taste good that's super low calorie if you don't like drinking your coffee black, which I understand because not everybody does. I personally can, but in case you want to ever mix it up, go ahead and add those guys. The other question I wanted to answer was by David Ramirez. Hey, can you talk about the pros and cons of being a PT? If the pay is worth it and if you can make a living? This was such a good question. I really wanted to answer this. The pros and cons of being a PT, but again, I didn't want to answer this within a vlog because I feel like it might get lost a little bit, and I really wanted to actually focus and take the time to answer this question right here. So, pros and cons of being a PT. Personal trainer, not physical therapist. What we mean by PT. Now, there are definitely two routes that you can go when it comes to personal training. You can work in a big box gym, such as your 24 Hours, LA Fitnesses, Fitness 19s, those larger corporation gyms. The other route that you can go as a personal trainer is being an independent contractor. So you basically work for yourself. You don't work for or are tied to a gym. You're independent of that, and you are your own brand, basically. You are your own business. That is the route that I chose. I'm an independent contractor. The gym that I train out of is Self-Made Training Facility in Chino Hills, and Self-Made in general, the franchise, the corporation, was designed for the independent contractor to go out and rent their space and be a freelance personal trainer. So there are pros and cons to both sides. The pros of working in a bigger box gym is a little bit more of a, I guess, safer route, you could say. You have access to more clients there because there are more people working out. Gym also is there feeding you clients as well and distributes clients amongst all the trainers. From my understanding, I've never actually worked in a big box gym, but this is kind of what I've heard from other people that have worked in a big box gym. So the access, I would say, that you have to potential clientele is a lot higher than if you were working as a freelance personal trainer in a gym like Self-Made where I work at. Where I work at, the gym is not open to the public. It's by appointment only. And it's also with your own personal trainer. Yeah, do you get walk-ins of people curious about the gym and you can make a sale on the spot? Yes. The odds of that happening are a little bit lower, and you have to be there on your own time, ready to catch that individual walking through the door. I have had that a couple times myself, but most of my clients actually come from Instagram or online marketing. By the way, follow me on Instagram. Referrals, and sometimes people will actually message the gym asking for a trainer. And the gym is kind enough to distribute inquiries amongst all the trainers, basically. Pros and cons as far as that aspect goes, right? You have access to more clientele, I think, at a regular big box gym. There's more foot traffic going on in there, so making sales is a higher possibility than if you were. And that leads me to the con. When you are tied to a big box gym, you are tied to what they decide to pay you, whether it's commission off of making a sale as a personal trainer or whether it's hourly. If you're an independent contractor, well, then you have the liberty and the freedom to make your own rates and run your business how you choose. Which brings me to my next point. The pros of you being able to charge your own rates means that there is more money being put into your pocket directly. So with that being said, depending on where you're at and where you're freelancing, however much they charge for rent is basically your payment to the gym. Everything else that you bring in for your clients is profit. That's money into your pocket. Cons of working in a big box gym is that, yeah, you might be getting more clients, but getting more clients doesn't always mean making more money. And what I mean by that is that a client might be paying, let's say, $60 for a session, but the gym might be paying their trainers only $20 an hour. So that means the gym is pocketing $40 out of that $60 payment, and you're only getting paid the $20. It's kind of sucks because you're doing all the work and you're only getting a fraction of what the client is actually paying. There's both pros and cons to the amount of money that you're actually really making when you're in the gym. More clients doesn't always mean you're making more money. At the same time, being an independent contractor, it could be a little bit tough sometimes to actually get clients. And lastly, the second half of this question, is the pay worth it, and if you can make a living? And the answer is yes, you can make a living off of it. And is the pay worth it? Well, that's kind of subjective to some people. I mean, is the pay worth your time there at the gym training somebody? For some people, they'd rather do something else with their time. For other people, they love it. For me, I love it. It's absolutely worth it for me to be there. I get to train, educate, help people. It's my favorite job that I've ever had in my entire life. So hopefully that kind of answered the question as far as like, is the pay worth it? Pros and cons of being a PT, the two different types of PTs that you have the option to be, and hopefully gives a little more clarity to your question. Those are two questions that I really wanted to focus in on, give a little bit more of an in-depth answer to. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, leave them in the comments down below. Every Wednesday, I'd be happy to post a video on here called Breakfast with Joe, where I basically eat some breakfast, talk to you guys, because you guys love seeing me put things in my mouth.
That's what she said.
And just answer a couple questions, almost like a mini kind of Q&A. Anyways, I am wrapping the video up here. It is actually currently right now 5:22 in the morning. I'm actually eating this breakfast and gonna go ahead to the gym to train some clients. So the con, if you're not a morning person, is that some clients, they wanna be trained early in the morning. Wrapping the video up here, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you guys are new. It's been your boy Joe. Peace.